Hello everybody, it's me, and welcome back to the video. Now, in this video, I decided to do something a little bit different. I was thinking about things that I could do in Doodle World, and then I thought to myself, what if I was to rank every equipment in Doodle World? That means I'm going to rank all the helmets, all the amulets, and all the artifacts. Now, in total, I think there are 32 equipments in total. And I went through it a few times just to be 100% sure. I counted 32, and there are 32 equipments on this tier list that I'm going to be making. And the best part about this tier list is that you guys at home can also make this tier list if you really, really want to. I'm very excited to hop into this, so without further ado, let's hop into it and let's rank some equipments. Alright, and here is the tier list, and of course I said before, if you want to do this yourself, you can go in the comments down below, but why not rank all of these? And we have S, A, B, C, and D tier. D tier being the absolute worst, C being, like, not very good at all, but still somewhat viable on gimmicky things, B being pretty much mid, and you can use it occasionally, A being the top used ones that are used a little bit, like a little bit more, and then we have S, which are just the ones that are used all the time and are very, very good. So let's hop straight into this. Now, the first one up on our list is Amber Trap Fly. These are actually all ordered alphabetically, which I think is really cool. But starting off with Amber Trap Fly, I think what I'm going to do here is put this in S tier. I think Amber Trap Fly is a really, really powerful equipment. You're only losing about 20 health in exchange for 20 extra speed, which speed being the most important stat in Pokemon, Doodle World, and Lunar Legacy, it is really, really nice to be able to get a really big speed edge over your opponents. So I'm definitely going to put Amber Trap Fly in S tier because I don't think it needs any further explaining. It's just really good all around, and it's a very good equipment. And the next one is Beach Ball, which I think I'm going to put in... I'm debating between these two. I think I'm going to put in A tier for now. I think Beach Ball is pretty good. I think I'm going to go B tier, actually. I think I'm going to be going B tier because it is outclassed by other equipments. Because, in my opinion, Pizza Slice is just a better version of this, and you also have Violeteers paired with Pizza Slice, which you don't get the big offensive drawback from this thing. If you're running like full stall-based things, like if something in the future gets like a bunch like Leech Seed and stuff, like this pair with Megordles is really good, but it's really situational and it's just outclassed by other defensive equipments. So that's not bad. And now with Bowl Cut, I think it's kind of the same thing, B tier. I think it's fine. I'm going to put it in B tier because I think it's not as good as it used to be. You do get the good defenses, yeah, but there are just better equipments. If you are running a mixed defensive thing and you want a little bit of speed, this is definitely the equipment to go for you, but I think Bowl Cut is fine in B tier because it's not bad, but I just don't see it used as much. Now with Mouse, this gives us what? I can actually go check what it gives just so I can be like 100% sure whenever I'm ranking them. The Mouse. It gives, where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? It doesn't exist. There it is. It gives 7 attack, 7 speed, and -7 defense. So it's just, you get some offensive attacks, you got offensive pressure, you get speed, but you lose out on defense. So it's actually not entirely horrible, but I don't see it used a lot, but it doesn't seem that bad on paper, so I think I'm gonna put it, in with very low B tier or high C tier. I'll go C tier. I think C tier is fine. It's a pretty decent equipment, but not a lot of things use it right now because it's outclassed by like Decorative Katana, which no one is ever going to use. No one's ever going to use Computer Mouse when Decorative Katana kind of exists. You know, not really any point to it. So yeah. And with this one, we have our next one is Crystal Shard, which I think should go in A tier. I think Crystal Shard is A. That or S tier. I think I'll put it in S tier. You get 15 magic defense and you get 5 speed, which is really, really nice on a lot of things because a lot of things can use magic defense and you also get a good speed increase. So it's really good on Cursed Cloak users that also want to be defensive on the magic side while also getting a little bit of a speed boost. So 100% a very nice equipment to use if you're going to be using stuff like Clangatang, Metacrow. Very powerful equipment to use there. And it also is an amulet, which makes it a lot better because there's not a lot of very good amulets. There's like 3 really good amulets. So, our next one is actually going to be Decorative Katana, which I think is a nice solid A tier, in my opinion. I think it's a good A tier, mostly because you get 8 attack and 5 speed, or it's the other way around. Pretty sure it's 8 attack, 5 speed, which isn't bad, which is not bad at all. It's the only real artifact that can boost your speed and attack without having any other drawback. Like if you check all artifacts, nothing else really boosts your speed and attack without there being a big drawback to it. Like a scrap cardboard gives you -7 HP, but 7 on both of your offensive moves, right? So I'm going to put Decorative Baton in A. And Doodad, I think it's going in S tier. Literally every melee attacker uses Doodad. Literally every melee attacker uses Doodad. You get 10 attack and 5 defense. It's very good. Like, it might seem minuscule, but it's very, very strong if used right on the right stuff, because it makes sense to be an A tier because it also has no drawbacks. Although, you can make the argument that Ambertrap Fly has drawbacks, but I still think it's a solid A tier because it just makes sense. I'm probably going to put this in low S tier, high A tier. Maybe here. Probably just high A tier for now. That's probably where I'm going to put it. Now, Epic Shades, I feel like is a very mid equipment. I never really see anything really running it. So, I really don't see many things running it. So, I think it's pretty bad. I think it gives you like 15 HP but -10 defense, which is basically just giving you 5 HP. Which, in my opinion, is not worth it at all. It's really not a good equipment to run on stuff. So, yeah. And Fawn Sprout Tail, I'm going to put, again, in C tier. Because after the nerf, it's just not as powerful as it was. That or maybe very low B tier. I don't know. I think I'm going to put it high C. I'll put it high C tier. I think it makes sense for this thing to be here. It just makes sense. After the nerf, it's not as good. But some things can still run it if they want to. But it's just not the best thing. Now, Feathered Hat, I think I want to put... I think this is an underrated equipment. Gives you attack and magic defense. I think it's pretty underrated equipment. I kind of want to chuck it in A tier. Although, you don't really get drawbacks from it. You get good attack, good defense, but lower magic attack. Which you're not going to use any magic attackers with Feathered Hat. Which is nice because a lot of melee attackers can be frail on the magic side. Because melee attackers usually are built to tank melee attacks better than they are to tank magic. So it's nice you can boost your magic attack while also getting a decent boost to your magic defense. Which can be very helpful at some points. Like things on, like this is a good substitute for Clangatang on like Doodad or something. It's a good substitute. It's attack magic defense. So yeah, it's attack magic defense. So not entirely terrible. I think it's a pretty decent equipment. So I want to put it in A tier. I think it's a good equipment, but it's just pretty underrated. I don't see many things using it, but I think it's good equipment. And now here we have Glomish Cap, which I'm pretty sure is 8 HP and 8 HP, 8 magic attack, which is not bad at all. Which really isn't that bad. So I kind of want to go high B tier. I'm probably going to put it high B tier. Giving you that bulk and that extra magic attack is really nice and very helpful. You might be wondering, why did I put... It's kind of funny because... Actually, I'm going to kind of want to swap the Feathered Hat and the Glomish Cap, honestly. Because that seems better. Because you're getting more overall bulk with Glomish Cap, rather than just one side of the defensive spectrum with Feathered Hat. So I think this makes the most sense. It's also really decent. It's also very decent on magic attackers, seeing as there's no real good magic attacking helmet. You really only have the magic attacking helmet as a speed. There's also Marshmallow Fedora, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Now, Headleaf here, I think I'm going to go C tier. I think I'd put it C tier here, that or high B tier. It's not that it's a bad equipment, it's just that it's outclassed and not used that much by a lot of things. Like, you can just use Ambertrap Fly and get double the benefits of this thing. You can use Headleaf and White Chocolate if you want to get, like, Ambertrap Fly but no minus defense or minus health, so... I think this is fine. There's a lot that is better than this, so I wouldn't recommend using this on a lot of things, but I think it's a decent equipment that sometimes it can rarely be used. And next we have the Horned Headband, which I don't actually know what it does. Pretty sure it is HP defense. HP, it's like, I think it's a lot, just 15 HP, right? Just HP, so it's just 15 HP minus 5 attack if I'm correct. And that's pretty good on stuff like bulky magic attackers. Like Calamander. So it's really decent on bulky based things. Like you could use it on bulky magic attacker. You could use like a defensive Volt or 2 with it if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I think I'm going to put this guy probably in B tier. I think it's a nice B tier in my opinion. Probably lower B tier because there are a few things that could outclass it. Not really. I think I put it above these two, but I don't think it's better than Feathered Hat. I think I put it right there. So I think that's fine. I think it's a very fair placing for this. It just helps you be a little bit bulkier, but you lose offensive stuff, but it's good on magic defensive things or magic attacking things. And here we have Juniper Necklace, which I think is a pretty good equipment. You get HP and speed from it, so you get bulk while being a little quicker. So I think I put it behind Bowl Cut, because if you think about it, Bowl Cut's giving you more bulk but a little bit less speed, so they kind of even out in the long run. So I think I'm gonna chuck it in B. I think it's a fine equipment, pretty nice. And now Magnificent Hat, I think it's one of the worst equipments in the game. I think it's one of the worst equipments in the game personally. I don't think it's very good. Hold on. No, let me do that. I agree with your statement. I agree with your statement. It's not good. Like, what? You can use it on Janeko, yeah, but suddenly you literally can't switch in unless you're revenge killing, which Janeko can easily get checked by Clangatang. So it's quite literally almost useless. I used it on Kadiri and it wasn't the best experience because my Kadiri got one-shotted by like Peck Gobademic. It was kind of crazy. Like, it's not good. It's not very good. So I put it in D tier, definitely not the best. Now, Marshmallow Fedora is kind of similar to Glomish Cap. It's boosting our offensive stuff while also boosting a little bit of our magic defense. I think I'd put this in A tier. It's very good for magic attackers because you get that 10 attack and you get that magic defense, which I think is pretty good for it. Very, very nice when you want to be bulky on the magic side and deal magic damage, which is good for stuff like Metacrow. If you need like a Curse Cloak Metacrow, it could be very good there. Now the camera, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty underrated equipment. I want to put it like in B tier here. I think this is a fine placement for it. I like the camera. You get a 7 speed, or is it 5 speed? It is 5 speed, 8 defense, -5 attack. It's really not that bad. I don't think it's horrible. Because -5 attack, 5 speed, 8 defense, you're basically getting a little bit of bulk and some speed while losing out on offensive stuff. So it's actually decent on stuff like Metacrow if you're going to go for a defensive Metacrow. So I like it personally. I'd put it in B tier. That or very high C tier. Probably in a very high C tier. I think that's a fair placement for it. So I'd probably put it in very high C tier. Now the Oakwood Staff, in my opinion, is outclassed by a lot of stuff in the game. I'd probably also put it very high C tier. Because I feel like it's just outclassed. There's a lot of things you can use besides this in the artifact section. I don't see any reason to really want to use this thing. So yeah, that's me though. If you want to use a mixed attacker, go ahead, but then you're gonna need to figure out what you're gonna put in your speed, because most artifacts are boosting your speed. Which, yeah, because you got Aim or Trap Fly. So Pizza, I feel like is a no-brainer. Instant S tier. Pizza is it's low, it's very strong. Pizza is very strong. It may only be 10 and 10 in both your defenses, but you don't know how far that can go to make you bulky. Like, you can get 10 defense. Pair it with Horn Headband, you have 20 defense. Pair it with Beach Ball, suddenly you have 40 defense. So, I mean, you get very, very bulky very, very fast. And Pizza Slice is a very good thing for bulky-based things, and if you just want to tank attacks better. Rock Candy, I'm pretty sure it's HP. It's HP, Magic Attack, Magical Defense. Which isn't horrible. I kind of like using Rock Candy. I'm probably going to put it in A tier. Maybe... I think I'm going to move these around a bit. I think I'm going to do this. And this. And maybe that. I think I'll do that in terms of me ranking them. So I think that's fine. So it's all 7 in your Magic Attack, HP, and Magic Defense. So it's good on things like Metacrow, if you're trying to go for a bulkier set on it, which is very nice. I think it's pretty good equipment. Boost your Magic Defense. Very nice one to use. Ruby Pendant is probably top of A tier or very low S tier. Can you get over there? Thank you. I love Ruby Pendant. It's very nice. It gives you like 7 speed, 5 attack, right? Yeah, or 7 attack, 5 speed, yeah. It's not bad. It's really not. It gives you extra speed, gives you some good attack. It's not bad. So, I like it personally. And then here we have Sad Pebblet, which I think I'm just going to put probably in C tier. I feel like it's fallen off of usage. I don't think it's as good as it used to be. There's just way better options. Like, pizza exists now. You're not using this thing over pizza. Like, you're never going to use this thing unless you want pizza, but you just... It's just not good. Just I wouldn't recommend using this over pizza if you want to go for something bulky. Just grab pizza. It's just so much better. Now we have scrap paper, which I think we should just make an entire tier devoted to scrap paper. I won't joke. This is the absolute worst equipment in the entire game. If I could, I would put it in D tier, but I think it's funny to just put it in scrap paper, in the scrap paper tier, because it genuinely sucks. It's really not good. I would never recommend using this thing. Or I could actually just delete it and put it below D. Might go ahead and do that. So go ahead, go boom, scrap. Oh my god, paper, there we go, and make it gray. Chuck the scrap paper in there. It's not good. You're literally never using this. You're never using it. Now for cardboard, you get 7 attack, 7 speed, 7 magic attack, but you lose 7 health, which in my opinion is very worth it on offensive things. It's pretty worth it on mixed attackers, such as, say, like Gomut, if you're using Rust. If not, then don't use this. Abyssint's pretty decent with it, with Rust. It's not that bad. I like it personally. I think it's pretty decent. I'd probably put it in C tier, probably ahead of Pebblet, probably about here. I kind of want to get this sorted out. I think that should be here. This should probably be here. This should be here. That should be here. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair for C tier. And yeah, it's pretty good, but it's decent on mixed attackers. Now stick is very high A tier, possibly S tier. It's a very good equipment in my opinion. Stick is very good to get that magic attack that you don't want the speed loss from Thingamajig. Stick's very strong. 15 attack, minus 10 HP. Pfft, who cares? You have 15 magical attack. It doesn't really matter if you lose the HP. I think this equipment's very good, and it deserves a higher spot because it's very strong. If used correctly, you could use like an all-out magical attacking Janeko, and you could deal so much good work. It's very strong. Now, Stone Necklace, I'm probably going to put in B tier, probably here, ahead of Bowl Cut, because it's really good on things like Serpapod, like Mellow Trick, things in late game that could get slow pivot moves. It's very good because it's giving you that defense, giving you that minus speed, so you get your guaranteed underspeed, which is very, very nice for it. So I personally think it's a very good equipment to have. Next one is Swag Juice, which I think is an instant S tier. I think Swag Juice is one of the best equipments in the game, personally. I think it's one of the best ones. Probably, I think I'd do this if I was to rank them in S tier. Possibly even this. Possibly even ahead of Amber. How do you get it ahead of it? It's impossible. How did I do that? I don't know how I did that. I think this makes sense. Pizza is one of the best equipments in the game. But Swag Juice, you get 10 HP and 8 attack, which doesn't seem that good. But 10 HP, anything with HP is very high on the list. Like, pretty much everything here does not have HP. Anything that can give you HP is pretty good in my opinion. Like, this gives you HP, HP. It's not bad. Pretty good. Now, Theater Mask, I'm also going to put in A tier. Probably here. I'll probably put Theater Mask there. It's very good on slow defensive magical attack things like Moss, Theater, Mascomedi. It's very good because you get 10 magic attack, 10 defense, but you only lose 8 speed, which 8 speed is not that bad on slower things like Moss Mold. It's not that bad. It's very good on Moss, very good on Mold, it helps you to check Clangatang with something like Skadeen. It's very strong in that aspect, and I think it's very good equipment. Now, Thingamajig, I think it's like C tier. I think it's C tier. Like, I'm probably gonna put it ahead of scrap cardboard. But yeah, I think this is fine because it gives you that huge power boost, but it's just the speed is sometimes too much. It's very good on things like Henchum, Sumo, Hidden Trait Chronos, because Hidden Trait Chronos bypasses it due to priority on all of its moves. So it's really not that bad. But there's just a lot of things you could use over it. Like if you want to just use Oakwood Staff, you just don't get 5 extra attack, which I don't think you're worried about. You can also use Stick and get that magic attack. Like you can also just use like, what else is in the melee attacking section that's an artifact? You use Decorative Katana. Like, it's really just, I wouldn't recommend using it over a lot of things. So now Violet Tears is pretty good. I'm probably gonna put it ahead of Theater Mask because it gives you 10 HP, 10 defenses on each side, and then you just get 10 minus attack, which isn't that bad compared to Beach Ball's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, which is minus 20 attacks and plus 20 defenses, which is fine, I guess, but Violet Tears uses that HP stat, which is really helpful and makes it a very nice equipment to use. I personally think it's a very good equipment and deserves a spot in A tier. And then here we have whatchamacallit, which I think deserves the same treatment. I think it deserves the same treatment as the hat. I don't think it's very good. I think it's definitely better than the hat, but you're losing out on 10 of each of your defenses for 10 speed. When are you ever gonna use that over like Juniper Necklace, which gives you almost the same amount of speed? Gives you like, it gives you 8 speed and 8 HP. You're never gonna use this over Juniper Necklace. You're never using it over Juniper Necklace. And you're never gonna use it over Crystal Shard either. Like, there's just no point. I don't think it's a very good equipment at all. Now White Chocolate, literally exactly the same, except it's an artifact, which there's faster artifacts, there's Amber Trap Fly, which I think then it could, because since it's an artifact, I think it can go above Headleaf, because it's an artifact and there are a few speed boosting artifacts. Actually, I put it below. Probably gonna do that. And I think I'm pretty much done with the tier list. I think we're all good with the tier list. I think it's very fair, and I think it's pretty nice and ordered. Anyway, guys, I will leave the link to the tier list if you want to make your own down in the comments below, in the description actually. So if you guys want to make your own equipment ranks, let me know, and let's see what you guys think about this one. I'm curious on what you guys think about my tier list. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.